Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Dave Collins. Dave, you have some games that are coming up on our TV.
Lots of games. Starts off this Friday evening at 7 o'clock. We've got college ice hockey, Air Force at Western Michigan. Now, following that at 10 p.m., it is YCN Sports Wrap with Andrew Zerhide. YCN was out at the Vermont State Championship football games featuring Bellows Falls, Windsor, and also Hartford. We'll have highlights of that, and that'll replay at 11:30 in the morning on Saturday, and that leads us into another triple header of college football this Saturday on YCM. Fordham at Bucknell at 12 noon, 3:30 Buffalo at Western Michigan, 7 o'clock you've got Marshall University at Florida International University, and then our Monday night high school football game will replay the 2016 Shrine game between New Hampshire and Vermont. That'll be Monday night at 7:30 right here on YCN. You know, big game, 3:30 on Saturday here on YCN. Buffalo at Western Michigan. Western Michigan ranked 21st. They are still undefeated in college football right now at 10-0. And the only other one that I can think of is Alabama at 10-0, and that sets up what could be a topsy-turvy football playoff coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Obviously, the rankings coming out yesterday. Alabama, number 1, Ohio State, 2, Michigan, 3, Clemson, 4. Louisville on the outside 4 right now looking in. The biggest question...
Washington 9-1. So
yeah, Washington 6.
Alabama 10-0, and the rest of the schools you mentioned, Ohio State all the way down until Washington, they are 9-1 right now.
Right, so all one loss.
Yep.
So the biggest question everyone's talking about is that Big Ten. Because it looks like right now, obviously things might not play out as they're supposed to, as we saw this week, but if they do, Michigan gets beat by Ohio State. Ohio State has 1 loss. Michigan has 1 loss. Penn State
has 2 losses, but they've upset Ohio State.
So they'll all be tied in the conference. So Penn State gets the number 1 seed in the East. They play the winner of the West, which is Wisconsin.
Because Penn State beat Ohio State, yeah.
So, I mean,
anything's up in the air. This is where I say let's go to a 16 playoff format, and the top 2 teams get byes in late December. Yep. And you have the bottom 4 all square off against each other and then go from there. I realize we might be playing bowl games or championship games in the middle of January, but it's the only way to make the fair system ever since they introduced the BCS, 10, 15 years ago.
Right, that clearly wasn't fair.
And Western Michigan, undefeated, might be on the outside looking in.
And the thing about Western Michigan right now is if they are, the highest ranked of the non-Power 5 conferences, they get to be on a New Year's Six bowl. But here's the problem.
I want to play first championship.
They're not even the highest ranked. Boise State is ranked higher than them in 19th spot or 20th spot, right, 1 spot above them, right?
Boise State's 20, Western Michigan's 21 right now.
And so
Boise has 1 loss, and Western Michigan has no losses.
So I know there's games to be played, but if this thing holds true, kind of seems like Western Michigan gets the short end of that stick also.
I don't think they're ever going to get it right unless they go to a 16-team playoff, and you'll never see that because
There's too much.
The college football season can't start at the end of August and go until February 1st. It's just not fair to the athletes. And some of them even play 2 sports, but still, you prolong it over that time period, it's not going to work. And then you've got all the fans, trying to support the schools. Okay, which city do I decide to go to? Do I go to the playoff game, which may be held in San Francisco?
And then you got to fly somewhere else.
Championship game may be held in Orlando or the Orange Bowl.
Back to where we are today. Is Ohio State in with a win the next 2 weeks? Obviously, even if they don't get into the Big Ten championship game, are they still in?
I think if they beat Michigan now and they blow them, you got to win by 21 points, and that shouldn't be a factor.
Against Michigan or whoever they're playing?
Whoever they're playing. I think Alabama's in cruise control.
Right, Alabama makes it.
Yep.
Ohio State, as long as they beat Michigan, makes it?
Yes.
Okay.
Even though they lost to Penn State.
Right. Clemson, as long as they win the ACC, which they should. They don't have much of a test because UNC, questionable.
Don't forget about Washington.
Well, that's the question.
See? We can't figure it out.
No, I don't think Washington is in. I think Washington's out.
Okay.
I just think they are. I think it goes Alabama, Ohio State gets in, Clemson gets in because they win, and then the Big Ten championship winner gets in. Penn State or Wisconsin. So you get 2 Big Ten teams in. You have a problem with that?
No. Where does Boise State go?
Oh, Boise State's way down.
Where's Western Michigan if they stay undefeated? They get the enlarged bid?
Yeah, they're just.
And what if they knock off one of the other 2 teams?
Well, then I don't think they're going to play. I don't think they have anybody good to play.
It's a flawed system.
Well, is it though? I mean, Western Michigan. Let's be honest. They're not Alabama's level.
What if they beat a team by 40 points next week?
I know.
What if they beat the game that we have on YCN at 3:30 on Saturday? They're home against Buffalo. What if they blow out Buffalo by 48 points?
I can't.
Then what do you do?
I can't.
How much does that factor in?
I think they should be in one of the big New Year's Six bowl games.
Yeah.
They should be ahead of Boise State, but come on.
Okay, we'll talk about this next week because I'm sure there'll be some topsy-turvy.
Well, exactly.
games
That's
going
the
on.
thing. It's not like the playoffs start tomorrow, so we'll have plenty of time to discuss this. And once things shake out, as we saw, things can happen. I mean, Michigan could beat Ohio State, and then all this is for naught.
Yeah. And here's what I'll also say about last Saturday with all the great college football games. I think that the NFL should be thanking the NCAA for what happened on Saturday and continuing that into Sunday.
Right. It was a big weekend for both sides. All right. So we are going to come back. Don't forget, later in the show, we have our picks. We have some memorabilia that you brought in, and then obviously some local teams that will give a little bit of a roundup and a preview of a big Dartmouth game that you'll be at on Thursday. We'll come right back. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.